Consoles are overpriced, and Silksong's a massive hit. That's right. It takes a special kind of bravery to report news as obvious as this on the internet's favorite gaming variety news show, Inside Games Roundup.
That's right, but it's not all news you already know, so keep watching, please. Insomniac's Wolverine game might actually show up in PlayStation's next State of Play. 2K's making a college basketball game, and yes, another studio's laying off a bunch of employees.
Prices are up, jobs are down, but I guess we got Silksong, so that's cool. Inside Games is sponsored by Acecraft Sky Hero. All right, Lawrence. Acecraft Sky Hero, not an easy game. And I don't know if you know, but Ludwig from YouTube and Twitch did the hashtag AceNoGrums challenge, which means completing Acecraft Sky Hero without getting upset or letting your character die. Can you do that?
Absolutely not. That's absurd. I'm definitely going to do one of the two because I'm always doing one of the two.
So yeah, you highlighted an interesting point. Playing it alone, difficult. But if we're playing together, not as hard, which is good.
Yeah, co-op is such a cool idea for a game like this. I mean, it really does take me back to the arcade days of yore, but what I really like is there's actual some shoot 'em up mechanics going on here too. It's got sort of a counter mechanic where you absorb certain colors of bullets and then fire them back. But you can also use that in co-op to cover for your bud if they have a different attack going.
Yeah, Lawrence, you got it right, because this is all real-time co-op. You can take on the toughest official levels together and relive the golden age of arcade teamwork, like when we were standing next to each other at an arcade game.
Yeah, the true benefit there is if you have a friend that's a hawk, they can carry you through the game, dump a bunch of rewards on your head. You can unlock cool characters like Tom and Jerry. They're back, man, and in a very fitting game, too. I mean, it's got a very Cuphead aesthetic. But yeah, old school animation is back, and we love to see it.
Yeah, with Acecraft Sky Hero, you can step into a world of hand-drawn nostalgia, inspired by the iconic black and white rubber hose animations of the 1930s, which I didn't know it was called that. Acecraft Sky Hero brings a rare, unmistakable aesthetic to modern shooters, but on your phone.
Let's fly together, laugh together, and play together in Acecraft Sky Hero. Please use the link in the description or scan the QR code to download the game and join the fun with the Tom and Jerry crossover.
Let's kick off the news by throwing to the one man that knows a thing or two about being up and down, Brian Garr.
Oh yeah, mostly downs, but let's go up today. So if buying a PlayStation 5 feels like it's costing you more than it should, you're not imagining things, you're not crazy. This is according to a new Ars Technica analysis. Today's consoles are hundreds of dollars more expensive than historic trends suggest they should be, even after you adjust for inflation. So they kind of dug into it and found that traditionally consoles launched high, obviously launch price, and then they saw steep price cuts within a few years. So for decades, systems like the NES, the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360 typically lost half of their launch price in today's dollars by year 3, and by year 5, they often slid down to a third of their original cost.
Weird to think that's where we should be right now. Yeah, PlayStation 5 should be what, $250? But yeah, that's obviously not happening anymore. Ours found that modern consoles like the Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series S have held their prices far longer, or even done the exact opposite. They've gotten more expensive.
Just like every single thing else. So for example, the 8-year-old OG Switch is still selling for about 86% of its inflation-adjusted launch price. So if it followed historic trends, it might be going for $100 to $150 today, which is crazy. It's not anywhere near that price. Instead, the Switch OLED PS5 Digital Edition and Xbox Series S are about $200 above where they'd be under past pricing patterns.
Yeah, so what's causing all this? Well, ours points to a mix of factors: tariffs, lingering pandemic supply chain issues, and the slowdown of Moore's Law making hardware cheaper at a slower pace. But also, people just keep buying them.
I think a lot of these gaming brands are so popular that the curve is inverted now. They don't have to attract customers, they can bill customers. Sales of the PS5 accordingly remain strong despite no real discounting. And while Nintendo's Switch continues to move units without ever seeing the kinds of cuts that older consoles endured.
But those elevated prices are being felt by publishers. Capcom president Haruhiro Tsujimoto recently cited the steep cost of the PS5 as a barrier for potential Monster Hunter Wilds players, noting that many gamers are opting for older, cheaper entries instead, patient gamers.
Yeah, he pointed to the success of the cheaper Switch 2 as proof that cost consciousness is shaping the market more than ever.
Yeah, it never occurred to me. I mean, we've read reports about Gen Z's inability to spend on games or cutting back on game spending. It didn't occur to me that a lot of this stuff is linked. The fact that consoles are maintaining higher prices because honestly, millennials and older people are able and willing to pay those prices, it really is pushing out what used to be a cheaper point of entry for gaming. And that really relegates it to the phone, like a device everyone's going to have probably over buying a game console, and then you just play free-to-play games there, or things like Minecraft and Roblox, infinitely playable games on basically any platform. That sucks, man! We gotta have a cheaper console out there. I thought the Series S was gonna do it, but people didn't really go for that.
Another interesting thing you just brought up, Lawrence, is that back when the Nintendo Entertainment System came out and those sorts of things, I don't think they were really sold to older generations. And now they are. Now the PS5 is going to 50 and 60-year-olds. I mean, maybe even 70 or, it's like video games are now for everybody. So they have a larger market, which means they don't have to lower the price to get more of the younger market in.
It was very much for kids back then. Yes, can attest. Video game. I mean, some adults played, but I think for the most part, it was looked at as a child's pastime for sure. All right, let's move on and talk about Silksong. It is, well, you guys know, it's super popular. The launch was so big, it broke the internet, or at least some of the biggest gaming stores.
A long-awaited sequel to 2017's Hollow Knight went live Thursday. Demand was so high that Steam, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox stores all buckled under the pressure. Steam users in particular were locked out for more than 2 hours.
It wasn't just players getting caught in the mess. Other publishers said they were blocked too. Humble Bundle briefly told visitors the game wasn't available at all during the traffic surge before finally restoring sales.
Yeah, and despite all the chaos, more than 100,000 people were already playing on Steam within 30 minutes of launch, and it eventually peaked at over 535,000 players. That is, for comparison, the second highest ever for an indie game after Goose Goose Duck in 2023.
What? Where did that come from?
Speaking of indie hits, this is a fun thing. The creator of Stardew Valley, Eric Barone, was listed as a voice actor for a character in the game. Which character? Nobody's saying. Also, man, voice acting for Hollow Knight must be the most fun because you're just going like, over and over again.
Or you're going, Silksong has been so well received, especially because of the extremely reasonable $20 price tag, that even folks on the piracy subreddit are encouraging people to buy. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I found a great quote from Reddit user Prius C, who wrote, "I was planning on pirating it since every recent game costs around $80, and that's a lot of money for a game. But after the price was revealed, $20, I thought, damn, that's good, and I'm not pirating it." Good for you, Prius C.
Maybe if a game executive just gave away one of their garages filled with vintage cars, they could afford to charge less for a game and let more people play them. I don't know, just a thought.
How dare you? They earned those 40 cars or whatever.
Ari, you're right.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Insomniac's Wolverine, set to appear at the next PlayStation State of Play, so fans waiting for their first real look at the game may not have to wait much longer.
Yeah, this is according to Insider Gaming. Their sources say that Insomniac Games' long-anticipated title is, quote, almost certainly, end quote, set to appear at PlayStation's next State of Play event, which is currently planned for the end of September. I guess, is that when Tokyo Game Show happens? No, makes sense. Production on a new trailer has already been completed.
Oh, we did it. It's been nearly 4 years since Wolverine was first announced during the 2021 PlayStation Showcase. Development has faced challenges along the way, including a ransomware attack in late 2023 that leaked employee information and a significant amount of game footage, forcing Insomniac to make adjustments to its plans.
Neither Insomniac nor PlayStation has announced a release date yet, but the game is confirmed to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
But at this point, that might be the old console. I guess we'll see. Time keeps ticking away, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
Speaking of those fleeting years, 2K is making a college basketball game. Wow, a new sports game. The Red Letter Day, 2K Sports confirmed it's working on a college basketball experience. I don't like that word. That will feature more than 100 schools. The company says the game will highlight both powerhouse programs and underdog, quote, Cinderella stories, with plans for an early rollout in 2026 and a full release in 2027. Quote, competition fuels quality at all levels, end quote, 2K said in its announcement on social media, promising benefits for partner schools, athletes, and players.
The move comes after EA Sports bowed out of its own attempt to make a college basketball game. EA originally pitched an exclusive deal through the college licensing company that would have included every Division I men and women's team. That is insane, but schools were hesitant to lock in exclusivity.
That opened the door for 2K. Instead of limiting college teams to NBA 2K's My Team mode, publisher Take-Two shifted gears to build a full game. UCLA is already on board, and 2K says more licensing deals are in the works. I mean, yay! I don't. Everybody. More
I think it's weird they're gonna do an early access for a sports game.
Money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's like it's not just money. I feel like it's got to be. They don't know how to monetize it, so they're gonna experiment real hard in the first 6 months before they like officially release it. This is what I was worried about, is giant corporations pulling the early access shield over whatever they do, because people seem weirdly permissive of whatever you want to do. Pricing, content, like everything goes out the door when you say early access. So 2K shouldn't be allowed to do that. They're a mega corp. They don't get the benefit or the protections of releasing early.
I think it would be cool if you had to like negotiate every player's NIL deal and had to work with like the boosters and Joe's used car lot to get them extra $500,000 so you could get this power forward. I think that would be awesome.
Is it still illegal to like pay these players? It is, right?
Oh no. Like in college, no, it's a whole new world.
Oh no, you can pay anybody anything now.
Yeah. Oh, they're making millions. Yeah, to the point where some of them don't go pro. They just stay in college because they can make more money. All right, let's talk about Civ 7. Got some bad news. The studio behind it has laid off an unspecified number of employees. This is according to publisher 2K, and they confirmed that this week.
Former Firaxis writer Emma Kidwell was among those affected, posting on LinkedIn that she was leaving after nearly 5 years at the studio. Kidwell, who worked on Civilization 7 and Marvel's Midnight Suns, says she was, quote, open to full-time writing work, and encouraged other studios to look out for her colleagues who were also impacted.
In a statement to Rock Paper Shotgun, 2K called the move a staff reduction tied to restructuring. The company said the layoffs were meant to optimize Firaxis' development process for adaptability, collaboration, and creativity. There you go. But did not disclose how many employees were let go.
This is sadly not the first round of cuts at Firaxis. Back in 2023, about 30 employees were laid off as part of wider cost-cutting measures at parent company Take-Two. Since then, the studio released Civ 7, but it has had a bumpy start and has gotten mixed reviews, so it's a bummer.
I thought I read somewhere that Firaxis and 2K were like, no, Civ 7 is doing great, but maybe not.
Yeah, they said it met expectations or whatever, but that's never good enough for, 2K is a big company. This is why I was kind of vexed about their other college basketball thing. Yeah, Civ is supposed to be one of their banner franchises, but I don't know how much blood you can squeeze out of that stone.
From what I hear, I have some friends who play Civ, and a lot of them are sticking with 6 right now and sort of, I think, waiting for the bugs of 7 to get ironed out. All right, let's do a 5-second review. Of course, we're talking about Silksong, and I just want to take a second to talk about how awesome it is in 2025 that a $20 Metroidvania game is at the top of the sales list from 4 dudes in Australia who were sent to a penal colony, worked on this game, and now they have a better life. So hats off.
I think you may have your facts a little wrong, Brian. I don't know.
We might let you back into England at this point.
All right, next up, as always, Inside Games is on your side. There's a lot of free games out there on the internet, and we want to make sure you know about them so you can save some money. This week, Amazon Prime has Into the Breach, Civilization 4, and also 3 still there, and the Dungeons & Dragons Ravenloft series. They also still have Marvel Midnight Suns, which has been highly recommended. I haven't found the time to play it yet, but it's there for free, so go grab it. Epic Games has Monument Valley. This is the cute kind of puzzle game, sort of MC Escher style thing that made the rounds on mobile a while ago, but it's free on your PC. And Indie Gala has The Brave Little Cloud. We know a thing or two about bravery, so we felt a kindred spirit and felt like shouting it out. So they're your free games this week. Enjoy them. Now, on to the games you can pay for.
That's right. The upcoming games for this week. First up, Bubsy, the perfect collection. Is Bubsy a celebrated icon from the mascot wars of the early 90s or a platforming punchline? Both. Well, wait, hold on. Celebrated? No. Bubsy in the Perfect Collection explores the franchise's troubled history and enduring popularity. No. A playable history that includes games, artifacts, and interviews. What could possibly go wrong? It comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on September 9th.
Garfield Kart 2, all you can drift. Fire up your engines because Garfield is waiting for you at the starting line. Play as one of the 8 cult characters from the Garfield universe. Fill up your carts, customize your look, and race away at breakneck speeds. Comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC September 10th.
It feels like Brian puts these together. It feels like he's in a parallel universe of video games that are coming out. And like these are games I've never heard of before. And I was like, did Brian come from like the multiverse? And then were these other games coming out on Earth, 232 or something?
And I brought Garfield Kart 2 with me.
How do we save our race? I don't know, but you got to try this Garfield game. I love the all you can drift subtitle. That really is just the like sprinkle of salt on top that I love. But there are more games that don't have cartoon mascots, as far as I know. Gloomy Eyes is a cozy horror self-co-op adventure, okay, about 2 unlikely souls who forge a forbidden bond. And are we allowed to talk about forbidden bonds? I don't know. The payment processors might step in on this one. And journey together to find the sun. Oh, I'm going to get through this yet. Explore eerie yet charming Tim Burton-esque levels. Switch between 2 unique characters and solve brain-teasing puzzles. Gloomy Eyes comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC on September 12th.
All right, here's a video game that I think we've all heard of. NHL 26. They have these in every multiverse, by the way. NHL hockey exists there. Play like a superstar in EA Sports NHL 26. A fine-tuned and enhanced arsenal of 28 X Factors spans 5 different categories and is driven by unique animations, tactical gameplay outcomes, and tiers of impact, turning each into a formidable on-ice weapon. Superstars now truly feel like superstars. Comes to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S on September 12th.
And finally, another little indie gem I've brought back from the BG multiverse, Borderlands 4. It's a mayhem-fueled looter shooter. Y'all know what Borderlands is. It's jam-packed with billions of weapons, deadly enemies, and intense co-op action. Break free from a dangerous hidden planet as one of 4 new badass vault hunters. Borderlands 4 comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC September 12th.
Something nice to play on the side while I'm playing Hollow Knight. I always loved it. You like a little balance. You like a little intelligence, a little dumb. Just like our show, I like to think. If you enjoyed the show, consider dropping a subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube's getting weird about shit. I even saw some comments on yesterday's episode saying that basically our show, a lot of other gaming YouTube content's just not getting recommended anymore. So if you made it to the end of the episode, thank you. And a subscribe would maybe battle against whatever AI boss has decided that video games don't need to be talked about. But we also appreciate any direct support. We have some patrons that support the show. I'd like to shout them out now for making sure that we can battle the robots. Monkey Butlers, Jonathan Lanowski, and Spirit Bear. Thank you very, very much for the support.
That's right. We also have Tito 007, Bakubomb, and Null Test, who are continuing to support Inside Games in the face of YouTube actively destroying our content. So thank you.